Hello indie game fans! Amid the hubbub of the month of not E3, and those videos are still coming, there have been quite a number of new titles announced, but this one will cover Kickstarter games and interesting ones which are not really associated with any event in particular, beginning with Toasty. This is a pixel art action-adventure title, and of course stars a marshmallow knight, hence the name, and has you protecting the people around you in this classically inspired adventure. There are genre-breaking moments as well, with racing and courtroom sections, as well as a ton of secrets and fun characters. Love this type of game, and it's currently on Kickstarter, so support it if you can. Yet another roguelite deck builder makes the list with Banners of Ruin, one which stars a variety of anthropomorphic animals with such an awesome art style. It features up to 6v6 turn-based positional combat, so one part Slay the Spire and one part Darkest Dungeon, and for melding two of my favorite games, this one has got me real excited. If you love pixel art and classic martial arts movies, then The Five Gods of Kung Fu may be of interest. Travel the world and master the various styles in this action beat 'em up. The unique button inputs are the main draw, where executing combos and attacks are relative to the flow of your fingers on the controller and certainly seems unique. There are mobs of enemies and 1v1 battles against both mini-bosses and Kung Fu masters, with a story that has you training to protect your grandfather's restaurant from a local gang, which is very classic indeed. This one's also on Kickstarter and is worth a look. Lucifer Within Us was revealed a little while back, but with only a cinematic trailer, and this new gameplay trailer released a couple of days ago. Play as a digital exorcist and see alternate timelines in order to solve murders and mysteries, purify the possessed, and purge their demons. Pixel art action-adventure platformer describes Moonraider quite nicely, so me being me, of course I'm in. Harvest the energy from the moon gems to save your mother in this beautiful looking adventure. On top of running, jumping and shooting, our heroine has a dash attack and the ability to swim, as well as some box standard upgrades like increasing weapon damage and health, so not exactly a Metroidvania. Regardless, with 6 levels of parallax scrolling, it does look fantastic and is everything that I would want from a modern, high-bit pixel art game. It is on Kickstarter for the final push to buy some extra time for the developers to polish up the game, but the rewards may be of interest to you.
We're heading into the first game of the season and the crowd is roaring with energy. Oh, and here come the contestants, ready to brawl!
I'm not a huge fan of football, whether it be the simulation or arcade style, but OFFSIDE Legends does look pretty alright, since there's a large variety of characters from Dracula, King Arthur, Sherlock Holmes and more, so the variety alone seems pretty neat.
Out of my way! Feel my rage! I haven't seen quite a peculiar lineup of characters like this since the brothers Grimm topped the field, but I gotta say, the crowd is riled up with this cast of fabled folk and felons. That's gotta hurt.
Fancy a cup of tea, dearie?
Inspired by Mario Strikers, it is that sort of arcade sports title where you can even cast spells to disrupt your opponents and looks like fun with friends.
Here comes the king!
An impressive looking co-op action-adventure RPG title currently on Kickstarter is Go Fight Fantastic. The three characters have their archetypes in tank, healer and DPS, and it looks like it's balanced for 3 players, although there is mention of single player, which I'm not sure how it will work. I like the art and look of this, with a story of saving the world from an alien invasion. Similar to Lucifer Within Us Above, our HIJO, A Wild West Tale, was previously announced, but we do get a more in-depth look at the gameplay. This is a stealth action game where you play as a 6-year-old boy looking for his mother, but most interestingly, it's a non-violent title using the mischievous playfulness of a young child. Looks good, and I'm still looking out for the release date. A positional party-based roguelite RPG which is also currently on Kickstarter is Dungeon No Dungeon, with an art style that reminds me of Mistover and combat, of course, like Darkest Dungeon. There's a central hub area for upgrades, shops, training, and so on, but I'm not sure what the main story beat is. pretty nice art with the chibi characters, with the bulk of the Kickstarter funds being used to fund future content and DLC, as well as a potential board game and miniatures. One late entry from the Steam Game Festival is the beautiful RPG Retro MACHINA, where you play as a robot which very much looks like Clank and have to journey through a world of mysteries long forgotten. Very strong Bastion vibes from this, so it could be neat. Johnny Rocket released on Steam in 2018 and is a gorgeous hand-drawn action platformer which is wonderfully animated, and the developers are running a modest Kickstarter campaign to help fund the console ports.
Hell, what happened on Red
The developer of Down in the Dark reached out on Twitter, and having looked at the trailer, this too was a no-brainer. A pixel art side-scrolling beat-em-up where you patrol the streets and fight baddies. In addition to the core action, there are puzzles, car chases, and upgrade systems for attack combos and your ride. Fashion Police Squad takes the idea of the Fashion Police quite literally, and is a first-person shooter where depleting enemy health bars classes them up, correcting an ill-fitting suit, or god forbid, socks with sandals. A nice, light-hearted take on the FPS, this one gets points for being quite creative with an interesting pixel art style. HADEAN Tactics is a roguelike auto-battler, which is another interesting mix, so I myself am quite curious about this. For as much as the auto chess genre was touted as the next big thing, I have not heard much about it since the initial spike last year, so if you are into the genre, do leave a comment below.
can't be so selfish not to.
No!
There's no escape from destiny.
One look at Magin, the Red Project stories, and of course, it very strongly evokes Darkest Dungeon, with both the art style and the fact that it is an RPG. But this introduces the hottest new mechanic in the deck builder to the chagrin of some. However, I do love deck builders, and this Polish studio does seem to have their ducks in a row, although they do need the support, but for nailing that art and the world building, it takes the #1 spot. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.